Hello and welcome back, or welcome to Live, Laugh, Lily Kincade with your host, Lily Kincade. It is episode number 27, which is kind of crazy. We've done almost, we're almost to like 6 months of these podcasts, which is just wild to me. Crazy. I also was like noticing this the other day when I was looking at my calendar. You guys, we have 5 Mondays in April, which is a lot of Mondays. And, some might hate Mondays, and I used to hate Mondays when I was younger. But I've learned to love Mondays because, I don't know, it just feels like the beginning of a fresh start, a new week. I don't know, I just love Mondays, and I'm really happy we get 5 together in April. Anyways, today's episode, as you can tell by the title, is all about living your life like no one else. Because I feel like this is such a helpful mindset and reminder whenever you tend to start feeling like you are comparing yourself, or you tend to have the need to compare yourself. Like, this mindset truly does save me, and I'm gonna go break into that a little bit more. But okay, to start off every episode, if you're new, we do a quote, and today's quote is from Dave Ramsey, and I wrote it down in my little journal. It is, "If you will live like no one else, later you can live like no one else." Dave Ramsey. And I don't know, I don't know if it was him that I originally heard that kind of mindset from, or where it was, but it really is true when you think about it. I've always been telling my friends, like, if you want to have a life that no one has, you have to like have a life that no one has right now. So like, it can be easy when you see your friends or when you see people your age doing all these things, but if you have dreams and goals, you may not be able to do those things because, you're going to have to make sacrifices. And I don't know, I've been having a lot of, not specifically FOMO, but this kind of ties into that, like feeling like, oh, I should be doing this. Like, how are these people doing this? And I think that FOMO, if you don't know, is fear of missing out. And oftentimes, at least for me in my life, it can feel like that. I'm like, oh my gosh, all these people my age are, going to college and going to these college parties and having these experiences and working their corporate jobs. And sometimes I'm like, oh, like, should I be doing that? And then I'm like, you know what? No, if I want to have a life in the future that no one else has, I have to have a life right now that no one else has. And that's kind of why I wanted to talk about this today, because as you know, I just kind of, I always say, like, we're going through life together, you and me, we're going through life together. And I'm like, okay, you know what? If I'm kind of feeling this way, like, there has to be at least one person out there who is also kind of relating to this right now. So this is just your reminder that, live like no one else. Live like no one else. And it's going to pay off later. But I have some like points I kind of have written down, and then like a little exercise that I want you guys to do as your homework that I've been doing. And like, it reminds me anytime I feel those feelings. Like it's just basically like pointing back towards your purpose. I always say, like, leadership is lonely. And if you want to be a leader, if you want to be a boss, a CEO, like, not everyone can do that. And it's going to be weird in the beginning. It's going to be isolating. There's going to be less people around you who understand you. But, I think in the end, like, you're going to have more freedom. I always say, like, you have to sacrifice now or you sacrifice later. And it's easier to sacrifice now because we have less responsibilities. When you're younger, when you're just first starting out your career, when you don't have a family to take care of, like, we are able to make more sacrifices now. And so this is just kind of a reminder about that. Like, even me right now, I spend a lot of time by myself, because I'm writing by myself. I'm working a lot by myself. I make videos by myself. Y'all know I do everything myself, which is so fun right now. But, sometimes it can be really like, I get this FOMO and I'm like, oh my God, I see these people working together. Like, oh, that would be so fun to do that. And, I think it's okay to just have those feelings. It's okay to see your friends do something and kind of feel like, oh, like bad, not bad, but you know what I mean? For example, too, like, even me, it's like, okay, I am training a lot. And like, even with my voice, like, I don't vape, I don't smoke. I've never vaped or smoked, but it's just like, if people are going out somewhere and I know it's gonna be really smoky, I'll be like, sorry guys, I can't come. And like, sometimes I'll get left alone and I'll just be at home on a Friday night. Born to die alone until right. Anyways, okay. Sometimes I'll be like at home Friday night working, or because I'm taking care of my voice and making that a priority. And, sometimes it can feel weird. Sometimes I can feel like, why am I being lame? Like, why don't I just do this? But I'm like, you know what? No, I know my voice and my health is my number one priority to me. And, I'm proud of myself for being able to not be such a people pleaser and for being able to, create my boundaries and create my values. But sometimes you feel a little lonely. And, this is your reminder that if you want to live like no one else soon in the future, you're going to have to live like no one else now. And no matter what it may be, like, I know people who were, you know, instead of going out, they had to stay home so they could save money to buy their equipment that they needed, to save money to move to that city that they wanted to move to. Like, it's all going to pay off. And so don't ever feel insecure or don't ever feel less than or feel weird for being that way. Because I promise you, like, it's going to pay off. And this is just your encouragement and your reminder because, you know, like we said last week, you can get in that sticky middle situation. It can be really hard to show up, but like, keep showing up. Yeah. And it's just, I don't know, it's interesting because I always like, there's a lot of like, okay, becoming your ideal self, becoming the version of yourself. But it is true. Like, I've been thinking a lot and I've journaled a lot about this, and like, this kind of ties into the little exercise I want you guys to do. But I think all the time about, you know, the version of me that I know I will become and the person that God called me to be. And I think about her and I'm like, you know what, would she be upset about doing this? Would she be wasting her time scrolling on social media? Would she be wasting her time comparing herself to other people? Or would she be focused on her goals, working towards them, and spending time with people that she loves and cares about? You know, so this is just a little reminder. This is going to be a short episode, just a little reminder of the times. But I have this little exercise that I want you to do that can kind of help you choose, kind of help to guide you, because it is really true. I don't know who said this, but it's something like, it's not the big things that determine like what you're going to be. It's the habits that you make now are going to like make you into the person you're going to be. I don't know if I'm wording that right, but do you guys know what I mean? It's not the big steps that you take right now. It's the little actions, because I feel like our life is built up of small actions and small habits. And like, for example, like, do you go on a 30-minute walk every day? Like, that's going to change your life so much more than if you like just go to the gym once a month and like work out for 5 hours, you know? Anyways, but I want you to close your eyes. You can get a journal. You can get out your notes app, whatever floats your boat. I want you to close your eyes first before writing anything down. And I want you to think about, and I want you to like see a picture of you in 5 years. Like, if everything in your life went smoothly, if everything you wanted came true, if everything was perfect, what would it look like? Where are you? What are you wearing? Is there other people around you? What is the vibe? What room of your house are you in? Are you in an office? I want you to think about these little details. And you may have to pause this and come back to this episode later, but I really want you to like think about this. You can put meditation music in the background. You can do whatever, but I want you to close your eyes and really think about it. What are you wearing? What do you look like? What does your hair look like? What does your makeup look like? What do your surroundings look like? Are you out in nature maybe? Are you inside? Are you traveling? Are you by yourself? Do you have a partner? I want you to look at what is in your mind. And once you have that clear picture, I want you to write it all down. And, you know, no one has to see it. It's just for your eyes. So don't be like, oh my God, this is so stupid. This is so embarrassing. I'm writing all this stuff down. No, do not be embarrassed. Why would you be embarrassed? Okay. Why would you be embarrassed? If you want to live a life that no one else has, if you want to have a life that no one else has, you have to live a life now that no one else has. So you know what? A lot of people aren't going to be doing this, but you are. And that's all that matters. But I want you to write down. And then I want you to think about the things in your life that are not taking you to become that person. So maybe it's like the person in your vision was really successful and had a bunch of companies and was running these companies. If you're right now in your current life, if you are staying up really late, scrolling on the internet or watching Netflix, maybe you need to make a note to break that habit, or be like, you know what, I'm going to start charging my phone in the other room, because that person who I want to be in 5 years is going to be running all these companies. So they're obviously have to get sleep so that they can wake up. And do this for every single like thing in your life. Like, if there's people in your life that your 5-year self would not have around, why are you having them around right now? Is there little habits you can make today that lead you to that person? Because I promise you, if you sacrifice now, it's going to be so much more worth it than sacrificing later. And, you know, I'm preaching to myself. I spend a lot of time alone, and I know in 5 years it's going to pay off when I'm getting to tour all around the world and get to meet you guys and get to sing and make music for the rest of my life. But right now it's really hard. But you know, I'm staying with it because I am taking the little actions every single day, because I know that it will add up, and I want you to know that it will add up for you. And I'm not just saying that, I genuinely mean that. And it's so true. But yeah, I want you to journal about that. Something that I also love doing, I did this, is once you journal about your ideal self, I want you to go to like Pinterest, or you can go anywhere and find images. It's almost like a mini vision board, but I want it to be like about you, not just like goals. It's like an overall person of you. And find little pictures. And I love making a screensaver. and then you open your phone and you see it. So I want you to put, like, if you were like traveling and getting to, work from your computer, many different places, put different like beaches and mountains, put whatever as your screensaver, like whatever it is. I want you to like screenshot the pictures from Pinterest and like make your own little screensaver. So then that way you're reminded that what you're doing now and the sacrifices you have to make will be worth it, because they will be. And I'm not just saying that. I'm saying that for you, and for me. They will be. They will be. They will be. They will be. And I don't know. It's just a good reminder, because, everything pays off. And I totally believe that. Like, slow and steady wins the race. If you put in the work and put in the effort now and set the boundaries right now for the life that you want, those little habits will add up. Don't think, oh, well, once I get that job promotion, then I'll start waking up early. It's like, no, you need to start waking up early now to be ready to receive the job promotion. You get it? You get it? Anyways, I hope this episode made sense. Go back and listen to it again. Send it to a friend. I love making these little episodes. I don't know how many more I'm going to do in this season. I guess this is technically like season 1 of L cubed, Live, Laugh, Lily Kincade. But I hope you guys like this. Send it to a friend. Rate it 5 stars on the Spotify podcast. But I love you guys, and feel free to DM me just anything. We can chat. If you've never listened to my music, you should. And let me know your favorite song. But also too, if you have any recommendations or anything you're going through and you're like, I really want advice on this, or like, what's your take on this? You're never alone. Reach out to me, reach out to the other Kincadians. But I love you so much, and I hope you have a fabulous week. Before we go, we have to say our Kincadian affirmation, which, for those of you who don't know, my 2nd grade teacher, Mrs. Concher, best teacher ever, had us all say this every single day. And it was just the best thing ever. And I've been saying it since 2nd grade, since I was like 8 years old, 8 or 9. And she passed it down to me to pass down to you guys. So ready? Today is a wonderful day. I am confident because I am a problem solver. I always have options because I choose to be optimistic. Today I will learn something new, laugh, and make a difference in someone else's life.